Hello, everyone. My name is Patricia Brooks-Arenberg, and I'm the Employer Engagement Specialist with Job Junction, Nova Scotia Works. Today's information session is just one of the many ways our team here at Job Junction can help you explore the pathways to employment. Meeting with a case manager can help you look at career opportunities, retraining, funding options, and so much more. So connect with us. You can email us at contact@jobjunction.ca or call us at 902-455-9675 to speak with a team member. Today, I'd like to introduce you to Tiffany Church, who's with us from Maritime Business College, to talk to us about their new program, the Medical Device Reprocessing Technician Program. Welcome, Tiffany.
Thanks, Patricia. Really nice to meet you all today. Here at Maritime Business College, we are offering the Medical Device Reprocessing Technician Program here at 800 Sackville Drive. The first intake will be March 2022, holding 20 students, and it is an in-class instruction with no virtual classes. To tell you a little bit about myself, I do have 12 years extensive hands-on experience within the Nova Scotia Health Authority, taking on different roles within my career path. My last position, I was the educator for Nova Scotia Health, taking on 17 different MDR sites within the province and making sure that they have their orientation and their education and training ready to be job ready and performing to the competencies required of the position. I come to this role not knowing about this career path. Was started working in housekeeping and learned about this wonderful career, and so I jumped in and took this wonderful course online.
So Medical Device Reprocessing Technician program here at Maritime Business College. It's a new career in healthcare in less than 1 year. So the medical device reprocessing technicians are extremely high in demand in Nova Scotia right now, typically starting about $20 an hour. Moving into a full-time position, you do have comprehensive benefits and as well as access to a pension plan. So what is a medical device reprocessing technician? It's a medical professional who is responsible for the cleaning and the disinfection of the medical instrumentation. We're also inspecting those instruments for cleanliness and working order, and then packaging those items for sterilization, and then they're stored for use until that next procedure needs to take place. A lot of these items or patient care equipment comes from the operating room. They come from the emergency department. They come from nursing units or clinics within the hospital setting. And they also come from private clinics outside of the hospital as well. That doesn't have a reprocessing department right on site. So during your stay with Maritime Business College, if you choose, your training would include hands-on training in the decontamination and the quality assurance and infection control processes. You will be learning to clean and disinfect, decontaminate, assemble, sterilize, and distribute critical patient care equipment. You will also be learning lots about policies and procedures, safety precautions, and of course, WHMIS and occupational health and safety. The training timeline is about 25 weeks with breaks with hands-on classroom instruction, typically held from Monday to Wednesday from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Thursdays and Fridays are held off for in case there's a school closure and we need to have a makeup day. There are an opportunity for us to have makeup days on those Thursdays and Fridays. So as well as the in-classroom instruction and the hands-on learning, we will be placing you in a job placement in a hospital setting for 400 hours. Plus you will also get the chance to do 80 hours on the job training placement in a private dental or a surgery center. So where would you be working for your work term placement? So we have 4 areas set up for your work term placement here in Halifax. We would be using the Halifax Infirmary, the Victoria General, the Dartmouth General, and the IWK Health Center. And we're using those 4 areas just because it's tangible to have an instructor available for the precepting experience or your on-the-job training experience. So in addition to receiving your course, you will also have preparation for your CSA certification exam. So this exam fee is included in the tuition costs. And you can pursue employment across the province with the Nova Scotia Health Authority or the IWK Health Center. But this certification is also recognized throughout all of Canada, excuse me. So you can move to a different province and utilize this certificate and this certification in that way as well. So what do you do if you're interested next? So we want you to contact Maritime Business College to book a meeting with an admissions representative today. You can also look at different options for financial and funding with either student loans or through Job Junction Nova Scotia Works. And then you can apply for the MDRT program today. Here at Maritime Business College, our contact information for any admissions is admissions@maritimebusinesscollege.com. And if you have any information to do with course content, you can email me at tchurch@maritimebusinesscollege.com. And with that, is there any questions?
I'd like to start off if you don't mind, Tiffany.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me a little bit about the day-to-day routine for an MDRT? Like how long are the shifts, that type of thing? What does it look like?
So typically a day working in MDR is typically about an 8-hour shift. We are open a 24-hour schedule. So because healthcare is ever evolving, we do need to always be open for traumas and emergency situations. So you would be required to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. It is a very heavy job. So it is heavy manual work, standing the entire shift typically, and operating equipment, lifting heavy, pushing and pulling. So it is a little bit of a demand in the actual physical exertion.
Okay. So if I were to think about where I would work in Nova Scotia outside of the Nova Scotia Health Authority, where else could I work?
So there are other options outside of Nova Scotia Health Authority. So Dalhousie has a dental place there. So there are opportunities for work there. Any private dental office sterilizes their equipment. So you could seek opportunity in those areas, as well as some private surgery clinics. A lot of the surgeons or doctors working within the healthcare facility has private clinics, and they need stuff reprocessed as well. So there's opportunity for work in those areas as well.
Okay, and so you touched upon this a little bit at the beginning there about your own career progression. So if someone was interested in doing this and thinking about what's the potential within this field, what would my career growth options be if I were to enter this profession?
So if you were to enter this profession, you would obviously start and get a good feel of the department. But once you got your grounding down and you're all trained and you feel comfortable working in the department, then you can kind of go into resource positions or some leadership roles that really help move the department into a good space. So there's definitely room for growth. There are also endoscopy areas that reprocess endoscopes. So there's definitely room for growth. It's all a matter of what you want to put into that. If you want to come to work and be a technician, then that's okay. But if you want more than that and you're passionate about your career, then you definitely have some room for growth. It's just a matter of what kind of work you want to put in to get that.
Okay, so I'm also thinking a few other things about, what kind of person, like what drew you to this profession? What kept you interested and passionate about it?
So for me, I didn't know about the profession until I started working in the hospital, in the healthcare facility. I was working in housekeeping and heard some rumors about the department. And so I got more information. I got an interview. I started an online program, and that's kind of how I'm here today. I stayed with this profession because I extremely like helping other people, and I'm not necessarily doing it hands-on, but I'm doing it behind the scenes, and I know that I'm doing a really good job for healthcare in general. And that's kind of why I enjoy the role. And it's something new every day. You're not doing the same thing every day. The process is the same, but the actual thing, the instrument that you're using, it's not going to be the same thing that you're going to be touching every single day. So it looks different every single day. And for me, I enjoy the work, the high pace. You're just always moving, you're always busy, and you're always learning something new.
Excellent. Excellent. Does anyone else have any other questions they'd like to ask?
Yeah, I have a question here, Tiffany. Great presentation, Patty and Tiffany as well. That was that was great. Just circling back to the program itself. So it's about 6 months, right? I'm just wondering. So you have a cohort in March. When are the next ones slated? Do you have any slated for future?
So there will be some. They're not currently defined as of right now what that looks like, but there is some discussion of potentially of a September start date. But if not, September for sure, in March again next
September, and then the following March for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
I'm just wondering as well. So I know you stated kind of the the salaries and the wages that can come from it. Wondering about the tuition itself for the program. So I'm just wondering what that looks like. If I have somebody that's interested, if there's a ballpark or where I can find that information.
Yeah, it's in around $17,000 for tuition.
Okay.
And if I can chime in, if a member of our, if you're, someone's interested, they can meet with a member of our admissions team. They come in, they can have an interview, discuss it, probably meet Tiffany as well. And then they'll also go over the package and then go over the pricing and then, what would come, what day, tuition would be due, so on and so forth, break down the cost between tuition as well as, any other expenses like, learning aids, other things you're going to need.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tiffany, yes. I have a question. I was curious about this. Is it a very public facing role in the hospital environment? Do you have to do any interaction with the public?
So there's no interaction with the public. You're really just interacting with the people in and around you in your department. There is some interaction with the operating room because that's typically who we serve first, would be the operating room. When we do go around and pick up contaminated medical devices, you could come in contact with some public members, but you wouldn't be communicating or dealing with the public. Typically, you would be dealing with your team members in your department.
Can I ask a question about, prior education and what someone coming into this program should have?
Absolutely. So moving into this program, the requirement is a grade 12 education or an equivalency and someone who can clearly speak English language because of the amount of medical terminology and such. So clear English speaking would be another one. But other than that, there's no real prerequisites other than your grade 12 diploma. Check in order to be successful in your on-the-job training within the healthcare facility.
And Tiffany, that's really a requirement of the Nova Scotia Health Authority and employers in the field, right? Like that's, so that's why it's kind of like other programs as well related to healthcare kind of have to have this.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So Ursula, what did you want to ask?
So I know that you said that they, the candidates, they do on-the-job training. Which is great. And I read about like the NSHA or some private places as well. Having said that, I know that particularly before this course was offered, it was never really offered unless you were doing training, you know, within NSHA upon being hired. So the candidates that would have taken this already officially get hired through these companies, does that mean that obviously they would bypass the official training they would technically do that they used to do in the past? And would that also allow for a higher pay grade?
Every year you would get an increment
Okay.
to 5 years, and then you
Okay.
get your top wage at that point.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, so essentially the reason why we've developed this course is because we're having a high influx in people retiring,
Mhm.
and trying to fill those positions, and those
Mhm.
are extremely difficult, especially if someone's coming in with an online course, has no experience, never walked through a department before, but they have a course and it's recognized through CSA, so they can apply and get the job. With this program here, they're going to have everything underneath of their belt. They're going to have their hands-on delivery in class. They're going to have their hand delivery on the job. They're going to be job ready at the end of this certificate program. And they're also going to be certified, which no other programs have that included in their tuition costs.
That's awesome.
And that's an excellent point, Tiffany. And I think that's that really breaks it down compared to, could I just get this online or in a nearby course in another province? That's a really, really good point there, that you can stay here, you can get the hands-on and be ready to go, job ready in 12 months after enrollment. Yeah, that's a huge advantage.
It is, yes.
So today's session with Pathways to Employment, Medical Device Reprocessing Technician, information session hosted by Job Junction and Maritime Business College. And just to reiterate, Job Junction has great educational career pathways available to anybody that wants to come in or give us a call. At this time, you can reach us at contact@jobjunction.ca or call us at 902-455-9675 to speak to one of our friendly folks, or ask to be directed to a case manager who can get really in detail with what we can offer you.